How many people don't want to see more fish farms? No more fish farms. There's 27 fish farms here. This will make it 29 in the Broughton Archipelago. This place already supports wild salmon. We don't need an energy-intensive industry that is killing off our wild salmon, our wild fishing grounds, dumping antibiotics, pesticides, passing diseases and lice onto our wild fish, killing our commercial fishing industry.
When this industry is killing the wild salmon, my job, my way of life, and my community. The new industry has no regulations, rules, or requirements to protect wild salmon. What makes them so much better than us? To be able to kill off our wild salmon for free, they have to use strong substances to kill the sea lice as the sea lice become more resistant to it. Let me remind you that they breed the sea lice in their pens. Yeah. When the young wild smolts come out of the rivers and the inlets, they have no choice but to pass by or through the pens where they either get eaten up from the farm salmon or have so many sea lice attached to their small tender bodies that they die before returning to their spawning beds. And as a commercial fisherman, for all the people of BC who depend on the return of the wild salmon, we do not need, nor do you need, more open pen fish farms in our ocean waters. Your industry needs regulations put in place to protect our wild salmon first and foremost.
It's a precedent setting. They're trying to transfer a shellfish license over to a finfish license. That means that every shellfish license on the coast can then be transferred to a finfish license. And there's lots of empty oyster farms and scallop farms and stuff like that. We fish out there. There is no monitoring of this industry. I have a really hard time explaining to my 10-year-old son why, right? When we see firsthand, until you're out there and you watch what they get away with, and the rules, right? Like we can't even have an extra light on our net when we're fishing. They light up the whole pen at nighttime. You know, we can't even pressure wash our boat in the harbor. They go down these copper dip nets that they have with these big geysers coming out the back, and nobody's watching. DFO's not sampling the water. They're not sampling the backwash and the back eddies, and it's actually disgusting and it's not fair.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So I'm not a talker, but you know.
Thank you.
I got one more thing to say about it. I've recently learned that all of these farms aren't Grieg farms. They apply with a numbered company so that they're not environmentally responsible, and you can't sue Grieg if you get your net caught on their anchors when they move them. Yeah. They all have numbered companies, so they have no assets, and they sell it off to Grieg, who's overseas, for their shareholders, and that's the way the corporate structure works. And that's our government allowing that to happen. So that's my spiel.
Some of the drugs that they use to kill off lice, they kill off crustacea. And they also kill off shrimp and prawns. And on the East Coast, a fish farm company was fined $500,000 because they were found to have poisoned or killed off the lobster because of their sea lice treatment. So these chemicals can kill off lobsters. They can certainly kill off prawns and shrimp, because that's what they're targeted for, is crustacea.
Why the heck are we putting more fish farms in when this problem is just starting now here in BC? It's craziness. Put your damn farms on land or go back to Norway.
I hate speaking, but I have a lodge right nearby where these 3 farms are going to be, and this is turning this area, this is nothing to do with fish farming and stuff, it's turning the area into an industrial zone. Our guests fly in, they pay super bucks to go into the wilderness. If you put 3 fish farms within sight, within a few yards almost of each other, you've turned that whole area into an industrial zone.
I was a commercial fisherman for 20 years, and I've been observing the fish farm industry since about 1986, or even before that. And the thing that strikes me about this industry is the incredible level of dishonesty. The propaganda up on the wall there says that there was a full set of baseline studies done on these two sites. But when I asked if they'd investigated the oolikans, migrating oolikans, the answer was no, because they didn't. Oolikans are a species of immense concern to the First Nations in that area. When I spoke to the manager here, he told me that the Cohen report said nothing about removing fish farms from salmon migratory sites. That's a lie. This industry has existed for 30 years on the basis of lies, thuggery, and ignoring the concerns of local people, and I'm sick of it.
My name is Karen Campbell. I'm all the way from Boston Bar, First Nations. 3 years ago, we had Alex. We brought Alex up to our fishing site. And she tested how many?
I tested 32 of your fish.
And how many of them were infected?
8 had viruses that are associated
And that
with
is
Adelaide
springs,
salmon
that
disease.
is sockeye, and coho. And they had all 3 diseases.
But do you know that those diseases are coming from the farm fish?
When we analyzed the sequence and published these results in 2013, which remain unchallenged in Virology Journal, they match the Norwegian strain of an infected Atlantic salmon from Lofoten, northern Norway. The sequence of the virus that I'm getting out of the supermarket from farm salmon raised in British Columbia matches northern Norway.
Our fish aren't even making it to our spawning grounds. That's our culture. We support these fish as a living. Like, our elders live off of this. We have elders on their deathbed in hospitals asking for fish because they believe that's going to give them the nutrients that they need. And we can't even give it to them because of what these farms are doing to them.
We have the role of approving or reviewing, and if so approving or disallowing a salmon farm under the Land Act. It's not a matter of vote, and it's not a matter of strictly opinion, and I know you all have expressed your sentiments, but in the end, really I encourage you to provide as much factual information and supporting information, because that's what will really
do nothing.
in the end,
That's what will do nothing.
be observed
Actually.
than a decision.
That's what we'll do. CFO here again? Can you explain that?
They are here.
Where are they?
He's over here.
I'm here to listen.
Oh, you're not.
One question, what would it actually take to stop a farm application? What kind of finding would you need to find in order to say, you know what, this farm can't go here?
Is there any way to stop a farm once they've applied? Because we know that, they're obviously working with government, and they've got deep pockets, and government is right in the pocket of industry.
Good question.
There's a lot of factors that go into deciding whether or not a farm should be. What's that?
And what are they?
There's a whole number of them. It includes siting, it includes environmental impacts, it includes to a degree social economic information, that type of thing.
And this industry has to pick up their poop. You cannot use the major migration routes of this coast as a pooping ground. You are the only farmers in Canada that don't shovel your manure, and it's going into the fishing grounds of the people here, First Nations, who have asked you to leave in many cases, into the wild salmon habitat, into the Fraser sockeye migration route. Let's put aquaculture on land where you guys learn to grow your own food and do something really brilliant. And let's bring the wild salmon back and have our tourism and have our food and have the wild coast so we can pass it on to our children. Because what are you guys going to do when you run out of food? What are you going to do when ISA virus actually breaks out on this coast? There's a way forward through this where we can all have jobs and all prosper, and we can hand this coast over to our children, which I know at some level we all want to do that. So thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, Alex.